Hey there, happy Monday. How's everybody doing? I popped on a minute early so we can get started on time here. Let me get you zoomed out. I think it's as far as I can go. I have the rest of the layouts that I finished this week. I had 4 left, and I showed you guys all the rest of them, but I had 4 more I had to finish, and I'm so happy I got them all done. So I wanted to show you guys these first. So if you're on with me, pop on and say hi. Let me refresh this. Okay. Let me see here. 1 second. Gotta make sure I'm on. There we go. Okay. All right. Hi, Marge. Oh, there we go. I got zoomed out a little bit. I was a little too close. So, I hope you guys had a good week. Seems like it went really fast. But, here we are. No farmer's market today for me. I'm off for 2 weeks. So, I'm kind of glad. It's going to be a hot one again. So I think it's already, let me see, 88 outside. So I'm happy I'm not doing it today. That's for sure. But I'm still going to try to keep this my normal hour. I don't want to hold you guys up. So I have been digging out stuff. I have all these little things that I've been storing. Let me show you real quick. I'm getting ready for a show that I'll be doing in September. So I got like all these little containers and cups and holders and all this stuff that we don't use, we don't sell anymore. They always come out with new stuff at Christmas time. So I'm waiting on the new stuff too, but I have a stash of all this stuff. So I've been pulling it out, trying to figure out what I'm going to use up this year. Time to clean out the closet. So that's what I've been doing this morning. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This layout right here, now I didn't do them exactly as they showed. I changed up some of the things. So this is one of the layouts. Let me get it in here. I liked all the stamping on it. That was a lot of fun to do. They made these pockets, which I thought was a good idea, but I was kind of like impatient and started gluing, and then it was too late. But they made theirs pockets so that these tags slid in and out, and you could write your journaling on them. So I thought that was super clever. But there was one. And then this next one, super bright. Look at all these circles. And then this was the resist paper again. So you ink blend it and then you wipe it off with a paper towel. And it did that. Some of the girls, they did theirs in different colors, and I thought that was really pretty. Again, I hurried up and did mine. This is like bullet journaling again, and it actually has the string that goes to the picture. So you can do your journaling over here and then describe like what is in each picture. Hi Kim, thanks for watching. So I thought this was pretty cool. This is something I hadn't done before, so I was like, okay, let me check this out. So there was another of the layouts. You know I'm saving the best one for last. I was like super excited about the last one. Let me see this one. So it went like this, lots of room for pictures. I left myself a little note here. This is a pocket that slides in and out so you can do your journaling, but it was a nice fall layout. Again, it had the ink resist paper back here, so I did a little ink blending. This is a tag that pulls out. I can either put a picture or put some journaling. This is a pocket that goes here, but I have to put it up on foam tape. And I want to stamp something in the middle. That's why I didn't glue this down yet. And then this, I could put a 2x2 picture on, and this can slide in here as well. So I thought this was super cute. So I just left myself a note here. And that was the third one. But okay, you guys ready for this? Check out this last one. This one, I didn't put it all together because you know I have to recreate this. I thought this was super cool. So it goes like this. Okay, so it's got the banner. I still have to do the string. I think it looks funny just kind of hanging out up there. Hi, Tabitha. So I just want to add a string to it and make it look a little bit better, but there's room for pictures here. This is for my title down here. I don't generally put my title on the right-hand side. I usually go up to the left corner, but this is what is wow. Okay, so this was like a patchwork quilt, which I thought was cool because I don't sew, so I can do paper, but I can't do sewing. I'm learning, but this was really cool to try to piece together. These are like 2x2 squares and stuff. So this sits in the middle right here. Actually, it has to sit down, and I'll show you why. Because this opens up, so it can't go past this here. So there's room for pictures. I can do my journaling. This flips up, so we got either another picture or some journaling up here. Picture, tags here. You could journal, picture, and then all of these are 3x3 squares, so you could put little pictures on all of these, and then a picture here. How cool is that? I thought that was super cool. So then they showed how you can cut your page protector so that you can actually, you know, get this out. It won't be stuck in your page. So they showed you how to cut it and everything. But I thought it was super cool. And I wanted to recreate this because I thought this would just be cool on its own as a gift to give someone. You could just make this and, you know, even put that in the mail. It's like, let me see, how big is this? It would be a little thick, so yes, you'd have to pay a little bit more postage, but 5x5. 5x5 1/4. So I think that would be super cute. You could make this like for Christmas or something like that and gift somebody with that. So that was my 4 pages that I finished this week. Again, super cool. I'm excited for the next one. They haven't announced a date yet, but I'm thinking that they're going to be doing another one. So I suggest next time, if you guys didn't do this one, to hop in on it if you're a scrapbooker, because not only did they, you know, you completed 12 double page layouts, you had all this stuff that was extra. You could use how they designed them, or you could make your own. And a lot of girls did. They kind of went off the grid and made their own designs and stuff like that, and that was cool. But I tried to follow pretty much because I didn't know what pictures I was putting on my pages. So I thought they turned out really cool. I wanted to give you guys a reminder. I have a few of these left. If you want to order some of these, you can go to Stamp with Kimberly under shop, and then there's a drop down. It'll say adhesive pouch kits. Now, I got these cute little bags, and they actually hold a lot. I'm going to show you guys what they hold. I put this on it. So we have some dimensionals, we got Stampin' Seal, we have glue dots, we have Tombow glue, and we have tear tape. So it's all the adhesive that you would need to create any project, box, anything. So if you guys are interested in one of these, I do have a couple of these left. So again, Stamp with Kimberly if you want to check that out. Okay, I still have my card kit till the 10th of the month, the pairs, if you're interested in that. And you can check out the link and order that if you're interested. We are using artistic leaves today. I'm still not in Christmas mode. I'm like pulling this stuff out for my fall craft show, and I'm like, this is all Christmas, and I'm okay doing that, but I'm not in the Christmas mode yet for showing you guys stuff. We do have some really cute sets out, but there is the holiday catalog coming out. And I know they're going to have more Christmas stuff, so I'm just trying to hold off and use some stuff. I did label. I want to show you guys that real quick too. So I went through all my stamps last night, bundles, dies, everything. I told you I was starting to label all mine. So I want to show you. This is nowhere near all, but I just want to show you. So if they're an online exclusive, I put OL on them because these are items that might be here today, but they might be gone tomorrow. And what we are using today is an online exclusive. This one was a Christmas set from last year. And I just stashed it with my Christmas stuff. And then I seen it's actually, it's on the website now for an online exclusive. So I pulled it back out so I could use it. So these are stamps that I put OL if they're online exclusive. And then I put LC if they're last chance. So they could be, these are on the website, but when they're gone, they're gone. They're not bringing them back. So I put LC on them because those, it's kind of hard sometimes when you're digging out what are you going to use this week. You want to show stuff that's going to be around, but you also want to give you guys the heads up if it's going to be disappearing, and then you can get it for a great deal if it's a last chance item. So I did get all that done this week, so I've been busy. So this is what we're using. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was like a shadow, you know, with the leaves, but I was super excited when I stamped with these. Let me show you guys. I was just playing with color. What did I do? So I had Blackberry Bliss and orange here, and I just was totally playing with color. This one was pecan pie and pumpkin pie. And then this one is crumb cake. And then you see this color that's kind of like greenish in here. You guys, that's basic beige. So we have the paper that matches it, and I don't use basic beige ink a lot, but for these leaves, I have been using it a lot. I've got quite a few samples and stuff, but it's almost like a grayish green, and it's really leaf, you know, it really just goes with the leaves. It's really pretty. So, I did make these. I am going to have some videos out for, this is a technique that I did. This is another technique with the embossing and ink blending. And then this is another one that was the baby wipe technique. So I will be having videos out for those. But what we are making today, I have 3 cards for you, and all of them are going to be like a different technique. And one of them is a gift card holder, so hang tight with me. This one I will start making, and you guys can see what I used. It's like a secret. It's not really a secret, but it's like a fun thing that you wouldn't expect to use to make this card. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit because I think I'm done showing big stuff. So this is our card base. I used Very Vanilla, 8.5 by 5.5, and get that scored. This is Crushed Curry. No, it's not. It is Cajun Craze, 5.25 by 4, and then this is 5 by 3 3/4, and this is what we're going to be stamping on today. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here. I went and got a clean one for you guys. You didn't want to see my... Here, I'll show you. I had quite a mess here. But we are going to stamp on this right now. So I'm going to bring in those leaves. I've already mounted up my stamps. Now there is the stamp. This one is this, and it, excuse me, it does make a full image, but then it just adds to it when you do the highlight. So you can use this alone, or you can use it with this other one here. So I'm going to use it alone, and I am going to bring in Basic Beige. You see how it's really close to that, but it actually has more of a green tint to it when you stamp with it. So it makes it really cool. Let me get pulled up here. I think you guys are close enough. Let me know if you're close, if I'm close enough. If you guys want me to go in a little bit closer, just put it in the comments and let me know. So I'm just going to ink it up. Actually, I'm going to bring in, oh, here's another. I told you guys I was playing with this a lot. It's one of those that I'm like, it doesn't have dies. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. But then once you start stamping with it, you can kind of go crazy because there's so many cool things that you can do with it. So I'm going to stamp this on here. Now this will lighten up a little bit as it dries. So I'm just going to randomly stamp. I think, I want that one here. I think with this one, actually you can see it's got a little bit of purple in here. And that's because, oh, actually, you know what? I did stamp off. So we could stamp off or we could do it this color. But I was stamping off. And what I was stamping off on was this purple. And it was picking up some of that purple tint. And that's why you see some of this really cool purple in here. But I think it'll be okay. This color, or we could, here, let's do it again. Let's do this. So we'll stamp off. See how much lighter it is? So that second generation stamping, you stamp it, stamp again. You kind of get this just kind of muted color. There we go. So I think that's more of the look we're going for. So we'll use that side. If you don't like the first side, you just flip it over. Pick another side. So I'm gonna wipe this off. Now, can you guys guess what I used to make these squares? Anybody? I'm gonna take this off. That is crumb cake. So I'm gonna bring in crumb cake paper, or ink here. And you guys ready? Let me see. I still have my bag and I haven't used it all yet. It's a great deal. Marge, you got to use your adhesive. Yes, Tabitha, it is like a junk journal. I love doing junk journals too. I don't journal enough. I really love that. Yes, exactly, Tabitha. They're great for all sorts of things. You can journal in them, put pictures in them, all sorts of stuff. So that pop-out thing, I think, would be perfect for that. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, so I just picked up some ink on my block. And I'm going to stamp it on here. And I'm going to do it again. Just so they overlap. So now we've created like a area, a background for the stamping that we're gonna do. Isn't that cool? I've done it before and I hadn't done it in a while, and I'm like, you know what? I just want some place for my leaves to land. So I just decided to create that. And it works out. So we're gonna use this little leaf here. And I'm gonna bring in Cajun Craze. I had fun, I love fall. And I had fun working with all these fall colors again. And we're going to stamp one there. We're going to stamp one there. And I brought in a scrap piece of paper. And I'm gonna stamp the other one in pumpkin pie. I like all these colors. So this is just a scrap, but I'm going to stamp that. And then I have the inside of the stamp. It's kind of funny when you look at this, you're like, what in the world? You kind of know it goes there, but it took a minute to figure that out. And then once you figure it out, it's like, oh, that fits perfectly. So we're going to take the inside of this stamp and we are going to stamp it inside these. Let me see if I can do this without getting my head in the way. Hi, Pearl. I'm glad everybody's staying in today, staying cool. See how it just adds a little bit of color inside there? Super cool. And then on this one, I'm going to bring in, let me see, what did I use? I think I used crushed curry. I thought I pulled out all my ink pads I used. I did. I just didn't dig deep enough. Now, because crushed curry is a dark yellow, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp this on. So it just gives like a hint. Actually, I missed this. Let me see if I can do it. My head might be in the way. There we go. And then this one we're going to cut out. So I made a mess. It's super easy. Cut this out real quick. We'll use this one. We'll pop this one up on our card because we've already created like the background for this. Okay, easy, easy. So I'm going to pop this one up with a dimensional. And we're going to stick this right in between them here. Just like that. Isn't that cute? So then I have a little bit of twine. I rearranged my desk because I brought back in this thing. I had it downstairs. I was going to get rid of it. And it holds my sponges. And I really missed it because I sponge pretty much everything. And my sponges, the ink was getting all over the place. So I was like, I really need my holder back. Ooh, I need to sharpen those. So I'm going to make a little bow here. If you don't have a bow maker, you need a bow maker. I have those too. Dan made a whole bunch of them. And I think I have 5 of those left. Don't forget, when you use your glue dots with ribbon or with twine, just set your ribbon on your glue dot, and that way it will pick it up flat. If you try to peel it off of here, then it will gum up and make a ball, which sometimes you want a ball, but for the most part, you just want it flat. I'm going to cut some of this off here. Okay. Now we can bring our card back in. We can glue some of this on. I had one glue, which was this one obviously, that didn't want to come out this morning. And then I had another one that wouldn't stop coming out. I was like, oh my gosh. I'd wipe it off and it just kept oozing out. I was like, it's going to be one of those days, huh? So I'm glad this one's cooperating now. this on here. Let's try that again. Get it straight here. There we go. Now we have our sentiment, and there's a couple different ones in this set. There's Hello Sweet Friend, Celebrate Today, and then Grateful for You. So I did Hello Sweet Friend. I just stuck them both on here so I didn't lose them. And I did that in Pecan Pie. So we're going to stamp this on our sentiment block here. Okay. And I'm just gonna cut it at an angle like that, just to give it a little something. And then I'm gonna bring in some of these long pieces of the sides. Actually, that one will probably do it all, because we don't want to waste them. And I'm going to set it up on here like that, and then I can cut these to match. Okay. And pop it right up here. All right. Looks good, huh? You like your bow maker too? Yes, Marge. Somebody actually gifted me some stuff yesterday, and there was a bow maker in it, and it was, the lady must have done wreaths because it was a big bow maker, and I was like, I don't know how to use this one, and I didn't know how to do wreaths, so I'm just gonna re-gift it. But yeah, it was pretty cool that people use whatever they have to make their bows to make it easier. All right, we got to stamp the inside. Now this is a discontinued stamp set, so let me see. I pulled "You Are the Sunshine That Brightens So Many of My Days." I really liked that saying. You know what? I'm still going to use it because I like it, and it's okay. I was really shocked how many things are going bye-bye, but that just means we're getting more good stuff, right? And you guys know I like to rotate my stash, but sometimes if I really like it, I keep it anyway. There we go. So there's our first card. What you guys think? You like that leaf in the background stamping? Have you ever stamped with that? With your block? I think it makes a good background for a simple stamp like that. I mean, it's just a leaf, and you wouldn't think, you know, it would have that wow, but I think it does. I like it a lot. So there's number one. Don't forget to stamp your envelope. And we are going to bring in card number 2. Now this one is going to be another fun technique. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. This is going to be like the baby wipe technique, which you can do with stamps, but I'm going to show you guys today how to do this with something else. So for the baby wipe technique, you just take a wet baby wipe. These are dried up, okay? No more babies in this house. They're dried up. But I went and ran it underneath the water and got it wet, and it's been a while, so I'm just going to spritz it down with water again. Get it nice and wet, and it's just water. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink refills. We don't use these enough. It was funny, actually. this one, Daffodil Delight, I used all of it. Look at that, you guys. It's like gone. I don't think I've ever actually used a whole ink refill. They last forever. So I'm just going to put a few drops. That is Cherry Cobbler. And this one is Lemon Lime. And then I have Pumpkin Pie. And actually, I bet you guys, I bet I've had this for, I don't know, they don't put dates on them. I bet I've had this for like 5 years. So since my daffodil is out, this one is Crushed Curry. So it's a little bit darker yellow. So I'm just going to fill in the rest of these spots here. Let me add a little bit more red. Okay, looks like a big hot mess. It's going to be creative here in a minute. So for our card pieces, I want the 5 by 3 3/4 piece to start. So what we're going to do is we are going to double this so we don't make a mess. This is my foam mat. It makes stamping easy. So if you don't have a foam mat or something cushy to stamp on when you're using photopolymer, it just makes it easier. I'm actually going to turn it like that. And you can always spritz this again with water. You see how it just kind of makes it ooze back out a little bit more? So I'm going to bring in the same small block. And what I did is I went like this, and I started stamping all over my paper. And you know that you're not going to get any two alike when you do this, but it just creates a really cool background. And actually, I'll show you in 1 second. This is actually, it lasts a long time because for one, it's sitting on a wet pad and I spritzed it with water. So this will last a long time. So what I ended up doing is I came in with my stamp, my leaf stamp here, and I went like this. And you don't really want to move it around when you're doing stamping. So I stamped it, and then watch, you guys. So you see how it created that collage of color? So that is how I ended up making this card here. I used the leftover that was here, and then that's how I made that. So it's a really cool, fun thing to do with your ink refills. And you get this result. And it's actually, it's funny because look how this side looks different than this side. I do not know why, but it's kind of cool. What do you think? So I'm going to put that back in there because this makes a mess. Let me show you guys real quick too. My ink refills, if you have a bunch of them, I keep mine in my big block cases, the wood block stamp cases. And they all fit in there. You can fit 10 of them in there. So that's how I do that. So we have our background. We're going to bring in the rest of our card. And actually, there's a lot of cardstock on this card. It actually made a heavy, this card's pretty heavy. So we have basic beige card base again. And we have Cherry Cobbler this time, 5 1/4 by 4. We got some hanging there we don't want. There we go. So we're going to glue this. I got it oozing out there. going to bring in our cool design here. Which side do I want? I think I want that one, because a lot of that's going to be covered up. I like that no two cards would be alike too. Okay, we're going to put that there. So that's 3 layers of cardstock already. We're not done. So this is Cherry Cobbler. This is a 3x3 piece. So we want this to be kind of wonky on there. So we're going to do that like that. And then this piece is also 3x3. It's basic beige. So I'm going to bring this in with my stamp again, and we're going to use Cherry Cobbler. I'll show you guys what this looks like if you just stamp the background. Let me see, it's going that way. So I want my leaf to be kind of straight up. Isn't it pretty? But it looks like it's missing something, right? So we're going to bring in the background here. And since we still have all of this ink left over on this baby wipe, I'm going to take this. I told you don't go like that, but because the stamp is so big and my ink is not very big, we're going to make it work. Let me see. Let me try to get my... This one, I kind of looked for this pointed stamp here. I don't want that on my ink block. The pointed one is right up here at the top. So if you take that one and you kind of line it up with that, the rest of them pretty much fall into place. Okay. Well, it's drying on me. So let's do it again. There we go. Let me pick up some over here. I'm being brave. I have some on my block. Let's hope that doesn't get on my paper here. There we go. So see how it just adds a hint of color? I'm being really brave now. I'm going to do one more time. I want that one spot covered. There we go. So there's lots of ways that you can use that ink that's in there instead of wasting it. And it just adds this hint to it. So we're going to take this one and we're going to pop it up with dimensionals. And I don't want to waste these. Okay. Oh, that one's not sticky on that side. That's weird. All right, let's try another one. Okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't stamp the background on this. On this one, I kind of stamped around it. Now it's too late because I put the dimensionals on it. We probably could have made it work if I wouldn't have put the dimensionals on, but that's okay. We have lots of color on this card. So my 2 sentiment blocks, I'm going to use Celebrate Today, and then the other one is just going to be a layer like we did with the other card. I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler again. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And I'm going to angle that just a tad before I put it on a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. This is like 3/4, and then the red one is just like a smidge, like 7/8 maybe, bigger. All right. Now we can take this and glue it on the card. I think I want more showing down there. Actually, what I did with this one, I think, yep, I did. I put a dimensional at this end because this is raised, so we want this end to be raised of our block here so that it's on level ground. So I put one dimensional here, and then this is glued directly to the leaf there. Okay, I'm going to bring in another piece of twine here. What do you think? Do you like it with the background or without? Let me know. Hi, Roberta. Is it like 5,000 degrees down there today? It was warmer in or here yesterday than it was in Florida. Oh, come back here. I meant to pull you, but not that hard. There we go. Just wanted to cut off the tails here. We're going to bring in another glue dot. So yeah, let me know. Background, no background. Oh my goodness, I put that, there it is. I'm like, this is the same color as my desk. I just lost that thing. All right, there we go. See how they're different? They're very different. That is so weird how this side came out. Maybe because it was wetter, more wet than the black, you know. And then actually, I just cut a strip off of this piece and I put on the inside. So for this one, Celebrate Today, I'm going to bring in the stamp set again. I told you guys I liked it. And the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that, and so on. Because when you celebrate, you want to do it every day, right? Wouldn't that be nice? So I want my cherry cobbler again. Now my next card, we're going to be doing some embossing, so hang around. There we go. Cherry cobbler always makes me nervous. That is one messy color. And if you get that on you, you have it everywhere. So I'm going to flip this over because we're done with that. And that way I don't get ink all over everything. Put this away and put these back on here so I don't lose them. Oops. There we go. All right. So now we just need a few embellishments and this one will be done. So these are the matte neutral dots. And they go with this basic beige paper really well. Okay, whoops, come back here. There we go. What do you guys think about that? 110 today. Oh my goodness. It sounds like it's a good day to stay inside and craft. Hopefully that's what you're doing. I have no desire to go out. Actually, it's very funny. I told you guys I was trying to get ready for, I'm going to throw this out. Vendor shows and stuff like that that's coming up. And so we went looking for candy and stuff that I could put in all these treat packages. Candy is so expensive right now. I mean, everything is expensive. I know that. But candy, like a bag of candy, like for Halloween, was $22 a bag. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I haven't decided yet. Like some things I'm going to be like, I'll put stuff in, but I don't think it's going to be chocolate this year because I usually get like the little small candy bars and stuff like that. I couldn't believe how expensive it was. So I'm like, do I make this stuff and then let people fill it with what they want? Or should I find something else to put in it? I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I did want M&Ms because I have these really cute things for teachers, and I wanted to use the saying, and it goes with M&Ms. So I ordered M&Ms off of Amazon, and I have been watching every day because, of course, with Amazon, it says it'll be here the next day usually. Well, with this, it was like, it'll be here within a week, and it gave me this date to this date, and I'm like, it's M&Ms. They're going to melt. If I'm not here, it's been so hot, it's going to melt. So I'm like, oh, great. So today they're supposed to be here, and I am not going anywhere until I get my M&Ms because I'm like, well, that's just going to be one big hot mess if I don't get my M&Ms off the front porch. So let me see. What did you say? That's because the tariff on chocolate is very high. Yeah, maybe. No, you're at the hospital. Ken's having ankle replacement today. Oh my goodness. Well, at least it's cool in the hospital, right? Ugh. Well, I hope he heals quick. And hopefully you took something to do while you're there. Maybe you took a kit, right? Maybe you took one of our fun kits to do. So, okay, back to the card here. So we are making this one next. We are going to do some embossing, and this is going to be a fun gift card holder. You guys, you've seen this gift card, like, I don't know, several times. I really need to use this. I keep telling Dan, I'm like, let's go to Texas Roadhouse. He doesn't ever want to go there. He says it's too loud, so I'm hanging on to it. And I don't know. I might have to grab some friends and go. So I thought I would use this since it's still sitting here on my desk. I would use this for the gift card holder. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this next. We are using Pretty Peacock. I haven't used this color in a while. This is 11 by 4 1/4. And we are going to score this at 1 3/8. And this card, totally, the measurements came by accident because actually, when I made this, I made it on too short of a piece of paper, and I wanted it on the front of a card, but if this was on the full front, I couldn't get this down here to look right. I mean, it kind of looks cool like that if I would have turned my sentiment this way. I guess I could have done it that way, but I ended up cutting it, and then I'm like, oh, I was gonna cut it, and I was like, I don't want to cut it, let me fold it. And then when I folded it, I created that pocket. So it worked out. So we are going to score this at 1 3/8. So if you don't know where that is, it is, we go to the 1, and then we got a 1/4, and then it's 2 knots after the 1/4. So we are going to score this. And then that looks bigger than my last one. Was it 1 3/8 or 3/8? Okay, now I'm questioning myself. Now I have to measure. No, it was 1 3/8. Okay. We're going to see if this worked. All right. And then 5 1/2, because we want this card to be folded in half. All right. Here's the magic moment. See, that looks shorter. It's just a smidge shorter. Was it supposed to be, let me see, 1/4? That is a 1 3/8. So maybe I was supposed to do it at 1 1/4. I want to make sure I give you guys the right measurements. Let's do that and fold it and see if that works, because I think it might be covered up with my other paper. So that's what I would do. I would do 1 1/4 and then 5 1/2. We're going to wing this one, but that way you guys have the right measurements. And then there's lots of white cardstock, so I used all white on the inside. So the inside piece and this first outside piece is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then this inside white is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. The 3 7/8 is just so it matched this side. And then this piece here was, let me see, I think we did, no, this was 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then this outside one was, oh my goodness, let me get it together. The outside strip white is 3/4 by 3 7/8. I wrote these measurements down, so okay, let me just measure, because my notes are, it was really late last night, that's all I gotta say. 3 7/8 is the outside one. The inside one is 3 3/4. There we go, we got it. And then this is 3/4 by 3 7/8. Okay, anyway, lots of white, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to get all my pieces here. I want the smaller of the squares. See how these layer up like that? So I am going to use the smaller one, and we are going to grab our goodies for embossing here. And you don't usually get to catch me live, Roberta. That's cool. So we got Versamark. I'm going to bring in scrap paper. And we're going to bring in our leaf. We're going to bring in the full leaf, not the shaded one. And this is your buddy. So that's so you don't get a bunch of static on your stuff. And this one is new and it's kind of messy. So if you've never watched me emboss before, or you've never embossed, I got Wow embossing powder and my heat gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink this up. Now you won't be able to see this very well because it's clear. So, oh look, actually we're going to be able to see that because I still had red on my stamp. Okay, we're going to see how this turns out. So now I have a pink leaf. Usually this is clear. We're just doing all sorts of colors today. That's funny. That actually worked out well. You can see where you're stamping. And we're gonna stamp some over here. And I'm gonna do one more over here. Okay. You don't really want to touch where you just embossed. I always close my Versamark up because I do not want powder in my Versamark. That's what happened to my ink pad. That's why it looks like it does. I think I was stamping with gold. I actually think this leaf, sometimes, depending on what color that you use it with, it kind of looks like a poinsettia. I think the leaves remind me of a stamp set that we used to have. That was like a poinsettia. And I think it might work for Christmas, actually. So I'm gonna grab my tweezers here because I don't feel like burning my fingers today. We're gonna hold this. And then I'm gonna dump this back in and get it out of the way so I don't blow embossing powder everywhere. I've done that before. All right, so we're just gonna get all that out of the way and bring in the heat tool. This might be a little loud. So I'm gonna, now with white, you can burn it pretty easy. So I usually start on the back and get it heated up and then finish on the front. You guys see it changing? So you want to heat it up until it all turns shiny. There's a little right there. A little bit more, hang on. There we go. So, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but see how it's kind of shiny right there? And actually, what I should have done is this bigger inside piece. Let's do that really quick too, because that kind of added a little bit to the card on the inside. So I'm just going to stamp along here. And we'll just do this real quick while I got it out. Because that way when we ink blend, we can do it all at the same time. Okay, one more time. Here we go. Marge, I want to know if you've heat embossed yet. I know you keep saying you need to do it. I wonder if you've done it yet. Let me know. All right, I think we got it all. Okie doke. So, we can get that out of the way. So we have our two pieces here. And I still fill powder. That stuff gets everywhere. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in an orange blending brush. And we're going to bring in pumpkin pie. Okay. All right, my computer wanted to die. I had to. And what you want to do is you want to ink this up, start off your paper, and just start blending. And if you didn't know where your embossing is, that is going to resist the color. So once we get it all done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a paper towel and we are going to wipe off where we embossed so we can see more of the white. You always want to start off your paper, that way it doesn't get a big blob on there. I think I want it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to show, oops, I'll show you guys how I came back in with the other stamp. So even though I've already embossed this, you can still stamp over it, and wherever there's not embossing, your ink will still hold. Okay, so let's do this one real quick. And since I went a little crazy, I think I'm just going to go all the way around here, so it doesn't look like it's just chopped off. Okay, so we just get a paper towel and we wipe it, and see how it turns whiter, and that ink just kind of comes right off the embossed part. Isn't that cool? All right. Oh, I want this out. Because now what I want to do is I want to come back in with that stamp that is the overlay. And I'm going to stamp right over this. Sorry if my head is in it. Okay. And see how it just adds a little bit of a highlight to your flower. I think, or not flower, leaf. Let me see. This one. I love that. And I think it was, I think it was this way. Isn't that cool? So let's do this one while we're at it. I think it's this one. If that pointed one's not in there, it's kind of, it takes a minute to line it up. Isn't that cool? I like it. Okie doke. Thanks, Sandy. Glad you like it. Okay. So, I don't know if this is going to cover up. I might have to get, let me get another piece of paper. Let me grab another piece. I want to do it right. So, hang tight. Oh goodness, there it is. Well, it does not want to come out. There we go. All right, let me recut this piece of paper. I want to make sure I tell you guys right. So 4 1/4, because that's cut in half. So now we can make 2 cards out of 1 piece. And then, let me measure this one more time. We have, it is, it's about, yeah, 1 1/4. No, it was 1 2 ticks, so it was actually 1 1/8. There we go. And we don't want to cut it. We want to make sure we got the score. And then we're going to go to 5 1/2. There we go. That's better. Now, before you glue this flap down, I'm just going to take a circle punch and I'm just going to notch this out somewhat in the middle here. I'm going to try to hit the middle. There we go. And that way, that'll make it easier for our gift card to slide out of. So I'm going to grab some tear tape. Your tear tape will hold this better. So I'm just going to put a little on that side and a little over here. Okay. And before I glue that, I almost did. I'm going to put this down. So we want this on the inside, and it's okay. It doesn't go completely down. You could make it a little bit bigger if you wanted to, but you're not going to see it anyway because we're going to fold this up, and that's where your gift card's going to slide in. Okay. And then our pretty piece here, we are going to glue on the inside. You just want to make sure that the width of this and the width of this are the same so they kind of coordinate that way. All right, so then we can bring in our other white piece of paper and our pretty piece that we did here, and we can glue these together. Okay, and then we can put this on the card front. So again, this is another kind of heavy card. I don't know why all my cards were heavy this week, but it's a lot of cardstock. But it's so pretty. Okay, let's center that like that. And then our strip here, we are going to stamp Hello Sweet Friend. And I'm going to do that in Pretty Peacock, so it matches our card here. All the instructions and the sizes will be up on the website. I'll get those put up today and make sure I put the right dimensions on here, because this one still looks different from this one. It's close, but it still looks like it's got a little bit more room here. But it'll work because you can still slide the gift card in here, and that's all that matters. And it's pretty. That's always a plus. So I'm going to take my dimensionals again, and I'm just going to cut a long strip. And put this down. Do a little bit more. So let me know in the comments, which one is you guys' favorite? Which technique did you like the best? Have you done them before? Has there been one that you've tried? Or are they all new to you guys? There we go. And then on the inside, I'm going to put happy birthday. And actually, it was funny, this set does not go with the leaves, but I like the happy birthday to you on this set. This is another online exclusive Party Pig. So if you haven't seen the videos I've done on him, go check those out. I think I got 3 videos up on YouTube with Party Piggy. And I'm gonna stamp right on the inside of this. And there you go. All right. Let me see. I got comments here. All right. That. You guys aren't going to tell me which one you like best. Did I put bling on this one? Oh, I did. Let me do bling. I'm going to use the white ones. This pack goes with all the cards that we've made today. I like the neutrals here. So, as usual, if you place an order this week, you'll get all the pieces to make one of each of these cards. It'll all be cut for you. It will not be stamped. I can't do any stamping. So you'll either need to get the stamp set. Where'd my other card go? Or you can use a stamp set that you have. All right, I don't know where the one went to that we just made. It's hiding. All right, well, there's one. So you'll need either the pieces or the stamp set to make this, which again is Artistic Leaves. It is an online exclusive. Or if you have another leaf set, then go ahead and use that. And but I will send you all the cut pieces so that you'll be able to make these cards. And if your order, that's what the I'm going to do, let me see, I did 50 last week. With the $35 order, oh, and to those that got free shipping this past week, I hope you enjoyed that. That saves you, actually shipping is 11% or $7.95 up to orders $72. So I hope that you guys took advantage of that. But I'll do with the $35 order this week. You will get the pieces for this, and if your order is $50 or more, I'll throw in a pack of these embellishments for you. So there you go. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you learned something. If you try this technique or any of them, let me know, and I'd like to see them. You guys are always welcome to post what you've made on my page, and so we all can check it out and ooh and ah and do all that stuff. So, all right, you guys stay cool, and I will see you all soon. I have a few more cards using this set, so I'll be doing more videos, and I'll post them here. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.